In today's video, I'm gonna tell you how to choose the right prop firm based on the way you trade, because choosing the right prop firm is not as easy as you think. This is because there are many different rules, add-ons and conditions that you need to understand if you want to get funded. So in today's video, I'll tell you everything that you should look out for before buying a funding challenge from any prop firm. Watch this video till the end, because in the end I'm going to tell you if you should buy a one-step or a two-step challenge, because the answer might not be as simple as you think. Before we go ahead, I just want to let you know that I'm going to do a very big funded account giveaway very soon on the channel, so do subscribe to the channel if you're interested in that. But with that out of the way, let's get started. Okay, so before we get into the thick of it, let's start with the basics. What is a prop firm and what is a funding challenge? So a prop firm is a company that provides profit-making traders with capital and splits the profit with the traders if they make a profit on that capital. And to access their capital, a trader has to pass a trading challenge, which is also called as a funding challenge. But you guys know all of this and you're not here for that. What you'll be more interested in is the rules that you're supposed to follow while passing a funding challenge. And here's the deal with these rules. Some of these rules can be a deal breaker for you because they can completely handicap your trading strategy. Most of the people ignore to read these rules when they are buying a funding challenge, and then these very rules come back to bite them later. But in today's video, I'm going to go through some of the most popular rules found in prop firms, and I'm going to tell you which ones you should avoid based on your trading style. Starting off with the consistency rule. The consistency rule says that majority of your profits should not be concentrated in a single day or in a single trade, and rather should be spread across multiple days and trades. Now here's where you have to look at your trading style. Do you take high risk to reward trades and have a low win rate, or do you take low risk to reward trades but have a very high win rate? If it's the first one, then the consistency rule is going to be a big problem for you, because if you lose a lot of trades but then you make a lot of money in just a single trade, then all of your profits will be concentrated in a very small number of trades, because of which you will not be able to pass the consistency rule. So if you're someone whose win rate is not very high but your risk to reward is very high, then you need to take a funding challenge which does not has a consistency rule. Coming to the next rule, the news trading rule. It says that traders are not allowed to execute trades a few minutes before and after a high impact news or a data point which is about to be released. Now this one is pretty simple. If you're a trader who relies on fundamentals and bets on the outcomes of high impact data such as CPI, GDP, etc., then a restriction on news trading will completely make your strategy unusable in your funded account. So you should go with a prop firm which doesn't has any news trading restrictions. But if you're not a fundamentals guy and you only use technical analysis to trade, you should still try to get a funding challenge which doesn't has any news trading restrictions. This is because you might sometimes unknowingly execute trades in a restricted time window around a news release, because of which you'll violate the news trading rule and your account might get terminated. Now this next one is not a rule per se, but this is still very important to understand, and I'm talking about drawdowns. Now prop firms have two ways of calculating drawdowns. One is called as a static drawdown and one is called as a floating drawdown. Okay guys, post-processing Paris said this floating drawdown is also many times called as trailing drawdown. So if you hear floating or trailing drawdown, just know that both of them are the same thing and not different things. Let's understand this with an example. This is Blueberry Funded's two-step account, and as you can see over here, the max loss limit is 10%. And so on a $10,000 account, you cannot make more than $1,000 of loss. And that means your balance should not go below $9,000 at any time. Now if you see, the drawdown type mentioned over here is static, and that means the threshold of $9,000 after which your max loss limit will get hit will always stay at $9,000 no matter how high or low your balance goes. However, if the max drawdown type was floating, then that would mean that the max loss limit will be 10% of the highest recorded balance in my account. So if I take my account to $12,000, then my max loss limit becomes 10% of $12,000, which will be at $10,800. And so now my account should not go below $10,800 at any time. So even though I'm in a profit of $800 from my initial balance of $10,000, I'll still lose the challenge if I hit that level. So that's why whenever you're buying a funded account, make sure that the max drawdown type is static and not floating. After that, we have the IP rule, which states that you should trade your account from an IP address or internet connection from the same region from which you had bought the funding challenge. This is pretty straightforward. If you're a guy who travels a lot, then a prop firm with an IP rule just won't work for you. So when you're buying a funding challenge, just look out for it and read the terms and conditions properly. Now I want to come to another important point, and that is add-ons. A lot of prop firms provide different types of add-ons to modify a few aspects of your funding challenge. Some of these add-ons are actually very useful, whereas some of them are not that useful at all. Before we talk about add-ons, I have to mention that if you're new to prop firms or if your trading performance is jittery and you're not sure that you'll pass your funding challenge in your first try, then please refrain from taking any types of add-ons. Before you get funded and get your revenue stream going from it, you have to keep your costs as low as possible because it might take you multiple tries before you get funded. But if you're fairly sure that you are going to pass your funding challenge, then the best add-on, hands down, is the higher profit split add-on. Take the example of Funded Next. They have a normal profit split of 80%, but you can get a profit split of up to 95% with their add-on. Now that add-on will increase your challenge cost by 30%, but your payout becomes much bigger. Let's say you take a $15,000 challenge. Now the challenge without the add-on will cost you $119, and with the add-on it will cost you $155, $36 more. Now let's say you pass the challenge and make a profit of 5% in the real account. Then at the time of the payout, you'll get $600 or 80% of your profit if you didn't take the add-on. But if you took the 95% profit split add-on, then you'll get a payout of $712.5. That's $112 more, and that means by paying $36 extra, you get $112 more in payout if you make 5% profit, and that difference just keeps going up if you make more than just 5% profit. In this regard, one prop firm that stands out is Funding Pips. They give you 100% profit split if you select a monthly payout cycle, and I really like this feature about them. And so I find Funding Pips to be very affordable and also one of the best prop firms out there. So if you want to buy a challenge from them, there is a link in the description. Aside from these, all other add-ons are pretty much useless. You may find the faster 7-day or 14-day payout cycle add-on useful if the normal payout cycle of your prop firm is monthly, but only buy that if it is at a small incremental cost like 10 or 20% at max. There's also no minimum days add-on, but that's absolute crap. Just never buy it. Is it really that hard for you to trade for 5 to 7 days at most? Now coming to one of the most important questions. Should you buy a one-step or a two-step account? Now you might think that this is a simple question to answer, but actually it's not. But before I answer that question, if you like this video until now, please do consider subscribing to my channel for more such useful content. It really motivates me also to create more such content for you guys. So the biggest difference between a one-step and a two-step account is the profit target and also the loss limit. And so a lot of people choose one-step account because the profit target is smaller, but what they miss out on is a bigger maximum and daily loss limit. That's because most of the time you get a smaller maximum and daily loss limit in a one-step challenge. Like look at the difference in Funding Pips' one-step and two-step challenge. In the one-step challenge you have to make a profit of 10%, whereas in a two-step challenge you have to make a profit of 30% in both the stages combined. But in a one-step challenge, you can make a maximum loss of 6% and a daily loss of 3% before you fail the challenge. Whereas in the two-step challenge, you have a bigger maximum loss limit of 10% and also a bigger maximum daily loss limit of 5%. In this sense, the two-step challenge gives you a much bigger room for surviving drawdowns and making mistakes. And so sure, you might take a little more time to complete your challenge, but you'll also get a much bigger room for error and also surviving your drawdowns. So until unless you're a very good trader who doesn't has very big drawdowns, or the one-step and two-step challenge both provide the same loss limits, it is better to go with a two-step challenge. Plus, it is also cheaper than a one-step challenge. Okay, so that is everything that you need to take care of before choosing a prop firm and buying a funding challenge from them. Now, you have to understand that there are some rules that are not standard across all prop firms. So that's why always, and I say always, read the rules before buying a funding challenge from any prop firm. Personally speaking, the prop firms that I prefer right now are Funding Pips, Funded Firm, Quanticle, and Funded Next. Although I'm trying more prop firms and I'll be soon coming up with a list of the best prop firms according to me. Also, if I missed any rule in this video, do let me know in the comments so that others can also know about it. That was it for this video. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your trader friends so that they can also benefit from this. And while you're here, also consider subscribing. I mean, why not? Anyways, thank you very much for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Bye bye.